What's up? The first sip of pre-workout. Rusty Shackelford, getting back on the gear? Question mark. Well, let's let a few more people get in here before I delve into that. What do we normally get for one of these pre-workout lives? 35, 40 people? No, Jay, I'm not back on the booze again. That's Lenny's wishful thinking. That's the only way Lenny could ever outshine me in the gym. The big Lenny cycle. No, not at all. You guys know I like to name my cycles. I named this one the Dana Lynn Bailey. So, anyway, November 1st, here's what I did. November 1st, I doubled my TRT. Well, I didn't do it all in one day because obviously I'm going to split up my injections. But I basically doubled. I'm doing TRT dose twice a week now. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. I was doing 1 milliliter of testosterone weekly. Starting November 1st, I'm going to be doing 2 ml of testosterone weekly. I've also added primobolan enthanate as an anabolic injectable to stack with the injectable testosterone. The stuff I have is 200 mgs per ml, and I started out at 3 mLs of that. So week 1, I did 600 milligrams of test-cypionate and 600 milligrams of primobolan enthanate. Did I say test-cypionate? That's what I meant. Test-cypionate and primobolan enthanate. 600, 600 on the injectables. And I'm doing 200 or 100 mgs a day of Anavar. I started all this November 1st, Tuesday. Yeah, primobolan tweaking. Yeah, someone needs to create a troll account on Instagram, Big J's last cycle. The Dana Lynn Bailey cycle, Primo and Anavar. So, really, it should be a rather safe cycle. I know Primo does build red blood cells, not as bad as Equipoise or Deca, but it does build red blood cell. So I got to be careful. I'm due to give red blood cell donation again. I believe December 5th I would be eligible because I think I did it August 5th. Anyway, beginning of December, I'm going to donate red blood cells. So I'll know my hemoglobin in about 4 weeks. About week 4, I'll know my hemoglobin. So I'm sure that'll be okay as long as I keep donating red blood cells. So I'm basically doing this to give me a little help getting leaner. Primobolan and Anavar strength gains should be really, really moderate. One ml equivalent to 1 gram? Here, no, fuck no. I say milliliter because some of you guys from Europe don't know what a cc is. A cc is a cubic centimeter. Here in the United States, our syringes are labeled with cc. 1 cc, 2 cc, 3 cc. but I guess in Europe it's ml. So a milliliter and a cubic centimeter are the same thing. So if you're talking mLs or cc's, they're the exact same fucking thing. Uh, so I'm doing 2 milliliters or cc's of test a week, and I'm doing more Primobolan because the Primobolan I have is only dosed at 200 per ml. I'm doing 3 mLs of Primobolan. It's basically 600, 600. Keep it simple, stupid. And I've got some Anavar 50s, which are rather potent. I'm doing 2 of those a day. So hopefully I was doing a little reading on Primobolan. I guess Primobolan is a very effective fat burner because it binds to the androgen receptor, kind of like Tren and Masteron do. 1.9 gram of gear per week total. I guess 600 test, 600 Primo, and 100 and 700 Anavar. Harry Venables says no Winstrel? Question mark. Nah, Winstrel makes my joints too sore. Last time I did Winstrel, I tore my knees in half. So Primobolan and Anavar shouldn't be bad for my collagen production. I heard Anavar is actually pretty good for collagen production. Not as good as Deca or Equipoise, but I heard Anavar is a close third. Father never learns. It hospitalizing. Nah, if this cycle gets me sick, I'm in trouble because this is the Dana Lynn Bailey cycle when she won the Olympia physique. Every chick does Primobolan and Anavar. It's a total chick cycle. Anavar has a very short half-life. PJ recommended taking 50 milligrams in the morning and night. Yeah, I guess in a perfect world you would do it that way. So he's not wrong. I just like to take both pills in the morning when I have a completely empty stomach and I know I'm going to absorb every fucking milligram. You know, if you're a bodybuilder like PJ Braun and you're eating fucking 5, 6 times a day, after the morning is over, you're never going to have an empty stomach ever again. So if you're taking that Anavar with food, you might not be absorbing all of it. That's why that's why you don't do an oral only cycle. That's why I'm doing an injectable in anabolic like Primobolan, so that if my oral has a slight spike in the morning and peters off before, in the middle of the night before the next dose because it's got a 12-hour half-life, I'm still on test in Primobolan. So you can spike your orals if you like to take your orals pre-workout like I'm doing. That's why doing an oral only cycle is no good. Your hormone levels aren't going to stay constant. Or test in an oral isn't that good. Should always have that base anabolic injectable to keep your hormone levels stable. What was your very first cycle? D-ball. No test, no injectable, just D-ball, which I don't recommend for the reasons I just stated. You should always, the base of any cycle should be testosterone. Then you should do an injectable anabolic, stack that with your testosterone. And then in a perfect world, you'd like to kickstart that cycle with 6 weeks of an oral. That's steroids 101. Test, an injectable anabolic, and an oral for the first 6 weeks. Orals are going to work quicker than any injectable. So an oral is going to be a kickstart to your cycle. So if you do an oral for this first 6 weeks, you're going to get good gains and give those injectables time to start working. Lenny recommends D-ball for beginners. Thoughts? Well, D-ball is a great cycle. There's no doubt about it. The mass and strength you're going to get off D-ball it probably packs more punch than just about anything else you're going to do. Best anabolic for joint pain is definitely Decadurable and any nandrolone compound. Yeah, I'm doing, the reason I'm doing Anavar is I want fat loss and I don't want water retention. With Primo and Anavar, I'm not going to gain an ounce of water weight, and I should burn fat. I noticed last night I was hot as fuck. So it must be the Primobolan is causing thermogenesis. Lions play the Packers today? Well, the Lions are going to get their ass kicked. I have no idea how much faster I'm going to burn fat, but definitely faster than no cycle. Best juice to demolish women. Probably test and then stack 2 orals with that, Proviron and a Winnie. And if you don't want to do 2 orals, Masteron is the closest thing you can get to Proviron. So test, Masteron, and Winnie. That's going to be the best steroid cycle for your pecker. Jay, you need to do EPO and equipoise only cycle. That would be a great way to have a stroke. Thoughts on Clemson getting cucked by Notre Dame? I'm very happy about that. Alabama lost for a second time yesterday, so they're out. You can come back from one loss.